Hi, welcome to the Business Book Review, a place for book lovers and business owners to share their favorite books on business. I'm Topher Morrison, and if you like to read and you love to lead, then I think you're the kind of person that I want to get to know. So if you like my book reviews, don't be shy. Leave me a comment, and if you're so moved, hey, hit the subscribe, so every time I have a new review, you'll be the first person to know. And by all means, please feel free to leave the titles of some books that you recommend in the comments. I'm not really interested in the popular books that people have already heard of. I want to find those kind of hidden gems that maybe miss the New York Times bestseller list, but they're every bit as good as those that do. This episode's book is A World Without Email by Cal Newport. Now, if the title of the book causes you any anxiety like it did me, then this book is probably just for you. You need to read it. I give it 4 out of 5 head tilts, but Macy probably would give it 5 head tilts and a tail wag if it means that I get to spend more attention with her than I do on my laptop. I think this book is an absolute must read if you feel that you spend too much time on emails, hate emails, or have tried various techniques to reduce emails. The one that specifically comes to my mind was Tim Ferriss's book From the 4-Hour Workweek, where he recommends that you set up an autoresponder telling people that you only read emails once a week. And in Cal's book, he addresses that strategy specifically and explains why it doesn't work for most people, like it didn't work for me. The book title is slightly misleading because in the book, he doesn't actually say that you should get rid of all email completely. But what he does address is what it's good for, what it's not good for, and the reasons why people hate receiving them, but ignore those reasons when it's time to send one. For me, personally, listen, I think the biggest takeaway was the identification of when it's good and when it's bad. And it boils down to one main concept, which is the difference between synchronous and asynchronous communication. Email works only for one of those types of communication methods, not both. Synchronous communication would be something like a conversation where 2 or more people need to bounce that conversation back and forth in real time in order to move the purpose of that said conversation forward. Asynchronous communication doesn't benefit from an immediate response between the parties, and in some cases, it might not even warrant one. The moment you start to identify what type of communication you're entering into, you know whether or not the email would be an effective channel. And as you can probably guess, people use email for both methods all the time. And they shouldn't, because when they do, it invites misunderstanding, slows down efficiencies, and it opens the door for costly mistakes in business. Here's a couple of excerpts from the book that really stood out to me. People now confuse answering emails with real work. It's no longer accurate to think of communication tools as occasionally interrupting work. The more realistic model is one which knowledge workers essentially partition their attention into 2 parallel tracks. One, executing work tasks, and the other, managing an always present, ongoing, and overloaded electronic conversation about these tasks. Why is it so hard to do our work? Because our brains were never designed to maintain parallel tracks of attention. All right, now I've oversimplified this book too much already. It's filled with great ideas on how to increase efficiency of office communication way beyond this one distinction. But if just hearing this piques your curiosity, then I think you would really enjoy it. So check it out and come back to this video to share with me and the other viewers what parts of the book really jumped out for you. If you like these reviews, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and hit subscribe so the next time I review a book, you'll be the first to know. That's it for now. Until the next review, let's all try a little harder to be a little better. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch that book review. If you liked it, I think you might like this one as well. Check it out.